You're watching Lake Votes 2012. We're here with Rich Regula running for Stark County Commissioner. Welcome, Mr. Regula.
Glad to be here.
Now, why are you running for election?
Well, I'm running for election because I truly believe in Stark County. I served as a Stark County Commissioner from 2002 to 2006. I was very proud of my service as a Commissioner. We did a lot of good projects and we lived within our means. And the county's gone through some difficult times in the last 6 years. Some boards of commissioners that followed me had some issues, but they've really righted the ship, and I really think there's good times ahead for Stark County. And I just want to bring my experience, not only as a former county commissioner, but my experience in the healthcare field, which is one of the biggest costs that Stark County has, and bring that to the table. And I always say that I want Stark County to be a place that my son can, who's a sophomore down at Ohio University, can go away, get an education, and come back here and raise a family. And I think it truly is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. I think things are going to be very positive for this whole region.
Now, what new strategies do you plan on bringing to this position?
Well, I tell you what, the biggest thing I think I can bring to this position is my healthcare background. I work at Mercy Medical Center, and over the last 6 years, I've learned a lot of how to manage large self-funded groups. Stark County has approximately, I believe, 1,600 employees. They have over probably 3,000 people on their health care plan. They're a large self-funded group. And one of the things we've found is if you really manage your group, you can see significant savings in health care costs. Stark County spends $13, $14 million in health care costs. And one of the keys to managing any group is get them to have a primary care physician, the individual employee, and the family members, and go to a primary care physician. One of the things that's not going on in the marketplace is a lot of people don't have a family doctor for various reasons. There's a shortage of doctors. They don't want to take a half day off work. They can't afford the $25 copay or their prescription drug copays. So they don't go to see a family physician until they become real sick. And then they show up in the emergency room, which costs everybody more money. We've been working with some local companies that are large self-funded groups. And what they do is they bring a primary care physician to the workplace. And everybody can use that. Everybody that's on his plan or her plan can use that primary care physician. And the key to getting people to use it is everything's free. So it eliminates some of those deterrents of taking a half day off work or $25 copay. The family members love it because it is free. It's convenient for the employees because they don't even make them clock off out of work, and they can go right there, 15-minute appointments. The physician manages that individual and really works and does wellness programs. And long story short, the companies and the models showed it, like a Shears Foods over in Brewster, the potato chips guys. Mm-hmm. They've cut their overall spend 25% in 3 years. That's money that not only do you have a healthier employee, but that's money that we can invest then in by cutting that $14 million, 25%, that you can invest that extra $3 or $4 million in infrastructure. And that's another goal of mine, is to improve the infrastructure of Stark County.
Now, it's been said that the 911 services of Stark County is overdue for some improvements. How would you change that?
Well, 911 was an issue back in 2002 to 6 when I served. We made some improvements to it. One of the things I think I can really bring to the table is because I've been all around the county, I've worked with all the townships, I know all the mayors, I know all the fire chiefs, that I can bring my ability to work together with people. Mm-hmm. They've made some strides. When I was there from 02 to 06, we upgraded the radios so everybody could talk. Everybody has 800 radios, which I think they do to this day. We upgraded some of the dispatching services so they could identify where cell phones are. And I think it's really continuing to work with the providers to come together. There's some barriers that are out there. Mm-hmm. And one thing I like to always say, if we didn't have Friday Night Football in Stark County, we could get a lot of things done. And it's just getting the Canton and the Maslins and the Nimishillans and the Jacksons and everybody to continue to work together, and they are, and it's gotten better. And I'm not an expert, but I know I can get in the room and work with all the various providers. One of the things I'd like to see them do is eliminate some of the barriers on who goes to what call. Let's have the closest responder go to the call. I mean, because there's some jurisdiction, boundaries that people sometimes want to uphold. But I say, let's have the closest responder go. and then we'll figure out whose jurisdiction it was in and things like that. So there's improvements that still need to be made. A lot of it has to do with funding, but I think I've got the abilities to work with everyone involved and continue to move 911 forward.
Now, how are the gas and oil opportunities a positive thing for Stark County?
Well, I've learned more about oil and gas in the last year and a half. Once again, in my role with the hospital, I've been working with the industry. We have a facility in Carrollton and a facility in Tuscarawas County. And for the last basically 2 years, I've been out and working with the industries. I've been on numerous rigs. The economic impact that the oil and gas industry is going to bring to this region, not only just our area, is going to be huge. It's going to give opportunities for you and from some of the kids here in the classroom that want to go to work, that jobs, they're talking 200,000 jobs, and these are their jobs every from CDL truck drivers to plumbers and pipe fitters and welders, but there's accountants, there's CPAs, like we were talking, you want to be a CPA, that's in the industry. The investment that they have made in Northeast Ohio in the Utica Shale is just huge. And this is going to really lead to energy independence for the United States. What's going to separate the Utica, you've heard a lot about these other oil plays that have gone on, like the Marcellus Shale in Pennsylvania and some of the things down in Texas and Oklahoma. But what separates the Utica, and the Utica basically goes down 77 to the south. It's Stark County, then Tusk and Carroll and Harrison and Guernsey. What separates the Utica is there's a lot of oil, sweet crude oil. I was out at Marathon, who makes the gasoline that you drive your car in. And Marathon is going to be able to handle 12,000 barrels a day and go to maybe 36,000 barrels a day. And the wells that they are drilling, they're getting some very good results. And now it's the midstream, which is once again creating a tremendous amount of jobs for surveyors, engineers, once again plumbers and pipe fitters and welders to get the oil, because they know how to safely get it out of the ground. And that's one of the things I want to stress, because you hear a lot about, fracking and injection wells. I've talked to healthcare providers across the country, and I've been out in the field. These guys are extremely safety conscious. And I think they can't afford mistakes, and they don't want mistakes. And so I think just the economic impact for this region is going to be huge. And it's going to be for 25, 35, 40 years. And once again, that's why my son is studying environmental science down at Ohio University. That's why this is going to give him the opportunity to come back here and get a job and raise a family. And I'm a firm believer in the oil and gas industry. They're good guys, and they just want their fair shake, and it's just the economic opportunity is going to be extreme positive for this region.
Now, you said on your campaign that we not only need growth, but we need smart growth. Mm-hmm. Now, what did you mean by smart growth?
Smart growth to me is infrastructure. The biggest thing we need to do is improve the infrastructure of Stark County. It's not only here, but it's across the country. We're getting aging drainage systems, we're getting aging roads and bridges, and my goal is to take any extra money that we can save by keeping our healthcare costs in line. Sales tax is going to go up because of the economic energy that's going to be behind the oil and gas. People are going to be spending money investing in Stark County. I should have mentioned while we were on the oil and gas that one of the things that's going to really, where Stark County in this whole region, Lake Township, is going to benefit, is this is where people are going to want to live. There may not be as much drilling in this part of this region of Ohio, but when people want to live, what does Stark County have and Lake Township have? They've got good housing market, great schools, great health care. There's going to be the job opportunities, and so people are going to move here. But we've got to invest in our roads and bridges and ditches. I remember when I was a township trustee, I spent many a day with Ellis Herb and looking at the ditches in Lake Township and trying to remedy some of the problems they had with flooding and drainage. And I always remember Ellis's greatest quote. He goes, "Commissioner," he goes, "we got to do less planning and more digging." And that's what we need to do. We need to do more digging. in getting in solving the infrastructure issues and address some of like the Zimber Ditch still has some issues to be addressed, and the Nimishillen, and I propose that we partner up with the federal government. I was talking to Congressman Bob Gibbs at the Louisville parade the other day, and he was been out on the Nimishillen and partner with the federal government, the Muskingum watershed. Now I know Lake Township isn't part of that, but and then the county and the local municipalities to try to put a funding plan together. And that's one of the things I really think I can bring to the table is my ability to reach out and work with all the basic agencies that are out there, and even soil and water, and because I've built relationships with all of them over the years. I've lived in Stark County my whole life, and I think that's a thing that I can really bring to the table is to do work on drainage issues and oil and gas issues on a regional basis.
Now, how would you deal with reductions in the state and local government?
Well, it's difficult, and that's I know a lot of the townships, and that's why we really have to work together because of the cuts in local governments, and I think that's it, because of the reductions in local government funds. It's going to almost force some of the townships and villages to work together. I was over in Alliance the other day, and I was in the Alliance Development Foundation did a great project. It was a partnership between Alliance, Louisville, Washington Township, and Lexington Township to bring and do the development there in Louisville for Chesapeake. Chesapeake is going to build their headquarters there in Louisville, and because they needed the rail access and things like that. And so I think it's really going to force people, and we need to start working together and break down some of these barriers. And some of the cuts in local government are going to cause that. But in the savings that I think we can have through healthcare savings by enhancing the plan, through increase in sales tax, there is going to be some casino revenue out there. No one knows for sure that's what it is or what it's going to be. But we really have to, once again, work together and open up the lines of communication. Once again, when I was over in Alliance, the mayor and one of the township trustees were talking about sharing a truck. I mean, it's like fire departments. Mm-hmm. Well, can we share some of this equipment? I know when I was a trustee in Bethlehem Township, we had a road grader, and Sugar Creek Township, our neighbors had a road grader. We only probably needed one,
right?
And we can share that together. And so I think that's the biggest thing that we have to work through is we can't ask the taxpayers for more money. We've just got to work together and have smart growth, as I talk about, and work harder and be leaner and keep our costs in line, and then invest in the economy. And by investing in roads, bridges, and ditches, what that does is creates jobs. And once people have jobs, and that's where I think the schools are going to start benefiting, is because once people get back to work, they'll be able to afford to pay their real estate taxes. They'll be more likely to pass a levy when a levy is needed. I know Lakes struggle like every other school district with levies. So I think with the jobs is the most important thing that we need to work on and make this area as attractive as possible, not only to the oil and gas industry, but for some of the other industries that are coming into this area. We've got an industrial park in south of Canton, the Mills Industrial Park. A big provider of hospital supplies has moved in there. Medline, Yellow Freight moved into there too, and there's just a lot of good things that are going on.
Thanks, Mr. Regula.
Thank you.
I'm Kyle Kreitz, and you're watching Lake Television.